All right, welcome bowling fans.
Got a smartphone left in the men's bathroom.
Welcome to today's match between the Wildcats of Napoleon and the Yellow Jackets of Perrysburg. We'll start out today's on the girls' side. Just a word of warning, we are having some internet issues here at the bowling alley, so if the stream glitches in and out, that's why. I am recording it, and we'll upload that at a later date. I've also got the recording from the match on Friday, and we'll get that uploaded as well. And we are working to resolve the issue. We just appreciate your patience. All right, we've got Brenna Massey up on lane number 5, starting things out. And Avery Badenhop on lane 7. And Brenna starts out with a strike. Avery takes out 9 pins and leaves the 4 pin behind. Ariana Kiesling will be up next for Napoleon on lane 5. And a split for the Yellow Jacket bowler on lane 6. That was her second ball? No? Not sure what happened there. Rack swept it on her. Strike for Ari there. Avery missed her spare attempt a moment ago on lane 7. Sophia Kors will be up next on lane 7 for Napoleon. Avery and Sophia are 2 seniors on the girls' side. That one goes right of the head pin, picks up 8, leaves 2-8. 5 count for Perrysburg on lane number 8. All right, Sophia up for her spare attempt now. And just misses. Ball just a little slow, and the lane grabbed, or the ball grabbed onto the lane and hooked right by. All right, so Perrysburg has got their leave set up on lane 6 after it got swept accidentally. Macy Eicher will be next to bowl for Napoleon on lane number 7. We've got Perrysburg up on lane 6 and lane 8 right now. Perrysburg with a strike. Nice ball from her on lane 8. Perrysburg picks up 2 out of the 3 on lane 6. About all you could do with that leave. Macy picks up 8, leaves the 2-7 on lane number 7. Avery up now on lane number 8. Nice looking ball, but a 10 pin left for Avery. Macy now, spare attempt. And she misses, so an open for Macy. Spare attempt now from Avery on lane number 8. And she's going to miss that one inside. Perrysburg, spare attempt on lane 6. And that one will miss, so an 8 count for her. 8 count for Perrysburg on lane 7, leaving the 3-9. Sophia swings that one way out wide. Picked up with 8, leaving the 6-10. Attempt from Perrysburg on lane 7, missed. Sophia up now, spare attempt on lane 8. Strike for the Perrysburg ladies on lane number 6. Sophia picks up her spare on lane number 8. And it looks like we're gonna have to deal with the internet issues, it looks like. So again, I'm recording this. I will get this up on YouTube later on. Perrysburg with a strike on lane number 7. Nice ball from her. Macy now, spare attempt on lane 8. Left the 1-2-10. Picks up 2 of the 3. Ariana Kiesling. And she picks up 9. Leaves a 10 pin. Brenna Massey had a strike before that. Avery Badenhop drops all 10 for the strike. Ari now, spare attempt, and she's got it. Sophia up on lane number 7. Sophie lets that one go, and a strike for Sophie. Brenna down on lane number 5, swings that one out a little too wide, ends up in the left gutter. And a strike for the Yellow Jackets on lane number 6. Macy now, lane number 7. And she gets the strike. So all 3 Napoleon bowlers on lane 7 with strikes. That in the 3rd frame. Brenna now, second ball, gets the spare the hard way. Harry up now, lane number 5. And Airy with a strike on lane 5 for the Wildcats. Spare attempt from Perrysburg, lane number 6 picked up. All right, we'll switch over to the boys' side. And Hunter picks up 9 on lane number 4. Looks like a 4-pin left. Fox Taylor, spare attempt on lane number 2. And he picks that one up. Andrew Gallagher now on lane number 3. And Andrew splits, leaves the 7-10. Hunter picks up his spare. Slade up on lane number 2 for Napoleon, and a strike for Slade. And Fox manages to get all 10 to drop for the strike down on lane 1. Andrew picks up 1 out of 2. About all he could do with that split on lane 3. Perrysburg with their second strike in a row on lane number 2. That was for bowler number 1 on Perrysburg. 8 count for Perrysburg on lane 4. Hunter comes in light, again picks up 9. Slade with another strike, he doubles up. Eight count for Perrysburg on lane 2, leaving the 4-7. Perrysburg, spare attempt, nicely done. Converts to 2-8 on lane 4. Hunter, spare attempt on lane 3, picked up. Garrett Hull on lane 4 and leaves the stone 9, pickup of 9. That was on lane 4. Perrysburg light to the pocket, ends up leaving the 2, 4, 7, and 8, I think. 8 count for Perrysburg on lane 2, leaving the 1, 2. Garrett now, spare attempt. Gives it a nudge. Got it. Not quite as much contact as I think he wanted to make with it, but it still gets the spare. Perrysburg picks up their spare in lane 2. Andrew up now. And Andrew Gallagher with a strike. That was on lane 4. Perrysburg with a strike there on lane number 3. Still looks like we're having a little bit of intermittent jumpiness. Garrett up lane number 3. And again, picks up 9, this time leaving the 10 pin. Fox Taylor with the 3rd strike in a row now for him. Slade, spare attempt on lane 2, picked up. Garrett now, spare attempt. And just misses. So an open frame for Garrett on lane number 3. And Perrysburg picks up an additional 6 for a total of 9 on lane 4. Andrew up now, lane number 3. Slade up on lane 1. Andrew gets the 7 to drop for the strike. Slade leaves, or gets 7, leaves the, what is that, 6, 8, and 10 maybe? Strike for Perrysburg on lane number 4. Slade now, spare attempt, lane 1. And he picks up 1 out of 3, so an 8 count for him. Hunter up, lane number 3, and a strike for Hunter. All right, we'll switch back over to the girls' side. All right, Brenna up now, lane number 6, working on a strike from the previous frame. And she gets another strike, so Brenna doubles up. Perrysburg gets 6, leaves the 1, 3, 6, and 7. Airy up now on lane number 6. Comes in just a touch light, leaves the 2, 4, 5. Perrysburg goes high, leaves the 3, 3, 10, a pickup of 8. Perrysburg picks up 3 out of 4 on their spare attempt on lane 7. Avery up lane 8. Avery drops all 10 for the strike. Airy comes in a little light and that picks up 1 out of 3, so another open frame for Ariana. Nice pickup by Perrysburg, picking up the 310 on lane number 5. Sophia Coors, lane number 8. That one looked like it went Brooklyn. Picks up 9, leaves the 7 pin. Brenna up now, lane number 5. That one goes high, leaves the 8 pin. It wobbles, but it doesn't go down. So 9 count for her. She must have moved it enough off the spot. It thought it went down. They'll have to reset that. Sophia Coors picks up her spare on lane number 8. Perrysburg, spare attempt coming up on lane 7. Looks good, she's got it. Macy now on lane 8 for Napoleon. And she ends up getting the 7 pin swept out of there for a strike. Perrysburg picks up 2 out of 4 for an 8 count. That's in the 7th frame. Perrysburg picks up 8 on lane number 8. Avery Badenhop up on lane number 7 now. And Avery gets 9, leaves a 7 pin. Brenna now, spare attempt. And she misses. We'll switch over to the boys who are just finishing up, I believe, on game number 1. Girls are on frame 7. I believe the boys are on frame 8 or 9 for most of them. All right, Garrett up on lane number 4. And 9 count for him, leaves a 7 pin. Hunter also shooting in a 7 pin, picks up his spare. So Garrett in the 10th frame here. Slade picks up his spare down on lane number 1. Garrett, spare attempt lane 4, and he misses. So Garrett will end up with a 162 for game 1. And Perrysburg with a strike to start the 10th frame on lane number 3. That's their 4th bowler. Perrysburg picks up 1 out of 5 for a 6 count. That was their second bowler on lane 2. Their first bowler picks up their spare on lane number 1 in the 10th frame. Andrew picks up 6, leaves the 2, 4, 6, and 10. Eight count for Perrysburg on lane number 3. A strike to finish things out for Perrysburg's first bowler. He finishes with a 179. Andrew now trying to pick up the spare. Picks up 2 out of 4. So Andrew finishes with a 177. Perrysburg second bowler starts out the 10th frame with a strike. Hunter now 10th frame, lane number 4, starts out with a strike. And Fox opens on his first ball in the 10th. Perrysburg's second bowler with 2 strikes in the 10th now. Strike for Perrysburg to start the 10th frame. That's their 5th bowler. And another strike for Hunter. He's got 2 in the 10th now. Fox gets 9 on his second ball, and he'll finish with a game of 185 with an open in the 10th frame. I'm sorry. Yeah, Hunter gets 6 on his last ball, finishes with a 216. Nice game, Hunter. Perrysburg's 4th bowler finished with a 157. Their second bowler also finished with a 157. Slade started out the 10th frame with a strike. He's getting ready for his second ball on the lane number 2. And he goes high, picks up 7 more, leaves the 3, 6, 10. Perrysburg misses their spare on lane 1. He'll finish with a 153. That was their 3rd bowler. And Perrysburg 5th bowler finishes with a 203, going strike 8 spare in the 10th. Slade picks up 2 more for 190. All right, we'll switch over to the girls' match. Maybe. There we go. All right, Brenna in the 9th frame, spare, picks it up. Macy Eicher picks up 8 on her first ball. Looks like she's also in the 9th frame. So unofficially, I've got Napoleon at 930 on the boys' side to Perrysburg 849, a difference of 81 pins. Perrysburg girl pick up 6 on lane 8. Ariana Kiesling now, lane number 5. That comes in a little light, leaves the 2, 4, 5, and 8. Macy picks up her spare in the 9th frame. right, so coming into the 10th frame here as soon as Aerie finishes up the 9th. Perrysburg gets a spare in the 9th frame and a spare for Ariana Kiesling. All right, Avery up now to start 10th frame on lane number 8. That comes in just a little light, gets 9 of them to fall, leaves a 2-pin behind it, looks like. Perrysburg gets 7 on lane 5. I'll have to reset the 1. It was the 1, 2, and 10. Brenna now comes in light, leaves the 1, 3, 7. Avery picks up her spare. She'll get 1 more in the 10th. All right, Avery now, last ball, 10th frame. Brenna looking to make her spare here. Avery picks up 8. Nice pickup by Brenna. She'll get 1 more. So Avery Badenhop finishes the first game with a 159. Perrysburg's 4th bowler finished with an 80. Their first bowler on the girls' side finished with a 178. Brenna last ball, 10th frame. Picks up 9 more, so a 190 game for Brenna. Nice game, Brenna. Sophie picks up 9 on her first ball, leaves a 10 pin. Perrysburg picks up a second strike in the 10th frame on lane number 7. Sophie's spare attempt now just misses. Ariana Kiesling comes in light, leaves the 1, 2, 8, 10. So Sophia with a 163. Macy now, lane number 8, 10th frame, goes high, pickup of 6, leaves the 3, 6, 9, 10. Perrysburg's second bowler with a 79. And 3 strikes in the 10th for Perrysburg's 5th bowler. She finishes up with a 198 game. Nice game for her. Ariana Kiesling picks up 3 out of the 4, finishes with a 152. Macy now, spare attempt, she's got it. So she'll get 1 more in the 10th. Perrysburg got 7 on her first ball on lane number 5. She shoots her spare and picks up 1 more. So 109 for Perrysburg's 3rd bowler. And Macy picks up 8. So a total of 180 for Macy. All right, we'll switch back over to the boys. All right, so I've got 844 unofficially for the girls, 644 for Perrysburg, a difference of 200 pins after the first individual game. Let's see if we can get these up on the screen here for you guys. All right, you should see the scores now. Slade with a strike down on lane number 1. Nice pickup there by Perrysburg, converting the spare on lane number 2. Hunter with a strike on lane number 3. Christian Horner up lane number 4. He's got 2 strikes in a row. He goes high on that one, ends up splitting, leaving the 2, 6, and 7. Fox picks up 9, leaves the, looks like it's the 2 pin. Perrysburg got 6 on their first ball. Spare attempt picks up 1 more on lane number 1. Fox now, spare attempt on lane 2. And he's got it. Slade up now, lane number 2. And he goes a little bit high, leaves 3, 6, 10, pickup of 7. All right, they've reset the pins for Christian. He's up for his spare attempt. Perrysburg with a nice ball on lane 3 for a strike. All right, Christian now, spare attempt. And he ends up picking up 1 out of 3, so an 8 count for him in the third. Perrysburg, spare attempt on lane 1, misses. 7 count for him in the third frame. Andrew Gallagher now, lane number 4. And he picks up 7, leaves the 2, 4, and 8. All right, we'll switch back over to the girls for a moment. And Sophia picks up her spare there on lane number 8. We'll bring up Macy next on lane 8. Perrysburg with a spare on lane number 5. Perrysburg's 5th bowler with a strike on lane number 7. Macy picks up 6 on her first ball, leaves the 2, 4, 7, and 8. Lily Light up now on lane number 7. And Lily with a strike on lane 7. Spare attempt from Macy, lane 8. And she's got it. All right, Sophia up now, lane number 7. That one broke hard on her. Picks up 5. Perrysburg with a strike on lane number 8. Alexa Miller with a strike on lane number 5 for Napoleon. Seven count for Perrysburg on her second ball. That was on lane number 6. 7 total for the frame. Kendall Horner now, lane number 5. And Kendall with a strike. And Sophia picks up 4 out of 5, so a 9 count for her in the, looks like the second frame here. Macy up now, lane number 7. And Macy gets all 10 of them to fall for the strike. So we've got Lily now on lane number 8. And Alexa on lane number 6. Lily gets 9, leaves a 7 pin. Alexa also, oh, the 7 pin went down, a strike for Alexa. So 2 in a row for Alexa. Another strike for Perrysburg on lane number 7. That's a double up for her. Lily now, spare attempt on lane 8. Kendall up lane 6. Lily missed her spare. Kendall gets 7. Leaves the 6. What is that? The 3, 5, 6. That's what that is. And another strike for Perrysburg on lane number 7. That's now 3 in a row for her. Kendall, spare attempt, lane 6. Picks up 2 out of the 3. Sophia up now, lane number 8. Sophie comes in a little light, ends up leaving the 1, 3, 6, and 7. Lily now, lane number 7. And Lily with a strike. All right, Sophie now with a washout, the left-hander's version. See if this ball gets to the right side of the head pin. It did, just a little bit too much, so she'll pick up 2 out of 4 for an 8 count. All right, switch back to the boys. Andrew Gallagher picks up 9 on his first ball. Perrysburg drops all 10 for a strike on lane number 3. Andrew now, spare attempt, lane 4. Fox up on lane 2. Andrew picks up his spare. And Fox drills that one for a strike. Hunter up now, lane number 4 for Napoleon. That one comes in light, picks up 8, leaves the 1, 2. Christian on lane 3 for Napoleon. That one goes high, but it carries for the Brooklyn strike. Slade McCorkle also trying to go Brooklyn, picks up 9, leaves a 5 pin. Perrysburg misses their spare down on lane number 1. Hunter now, spare attempt, lane 4. And he chops, picks up 1 out of 2. Andrew now, lane number 3. And he gets a strike. Slade picks up his spare on lane number 2. Perrysburg splitting, leaving the 8-10 on lane number 4. Hunter now, lane number 3. And Hunter gets a strike. And Slade with a strike down on lane number 1. Perrysburg won't get any more, so an 8 count for him in the, can't tell what frame they're in. Not sure what the holdup is on the boys' side. We'll switch over to the girls while we get things straightened out on the boys. And Lily with a strike. That's 2 in a row now for her. Spare attempt from Perrysburg. Picks up 3 out of the 4 on lane number 7. Alexa Miller, lane number 6. And she wobbles that 4-pin, but it doesn't want to go down. So 9 count for her. And Sophia moved that 10-pin, but it didn't go down. They'll have to get reset. So a 9 count for Sophia on lane number 8. That one will get reset. Alexa now, spare attempt. Lane number 6. And she's got it. Perrysburg bowler with a strike on lane number 7. Kendall Horner up now, lane number 6. And it's 9 count, leaves a 7-pin. Sophia now, spare attempt on the 10-pin. And she's got it. All right, boys look like they're moving again, so we'll switch back to the boys. Perrysburg, spare attempt, lane number 3. Converts. Perrysburg in lane number 4, spare conversion. Picks it up. Perrysburg with a strike over on lane 2. And Perrysburg converts their spare on lane 1. Brings Christian Horner up on lane number 4. And Christian leaves the 2-8-10. Tough spare to convert there. Perrysburg gets 7 down on lane 1, leaving the 2-4-5. Fox up now, lane number 2. That one goes high, leaves the 3-6. Pickup of 8. Perrysburg with a strike on lane number 3. All right, Christian up lane number 4 here. This one's tough because you got to drive the 2 back into the 8, and there's nothing that gives you the angle for the 10-pin. You got to get lucky and hope that the 2-pin slides straight right, which it didn't, so he picked up 2 out of 3. Fox picks up his spare down on lane number 2. Andrew up now, lane number 4. And a strike for Andrew. Slade, lane 2, picks up 8, leaves a 6-10. Spare attempt by Perrysburg, picks up 2 out of 3 on lane 1. Christian now, lane 3. And he splits again, this time the 4-6-7. Hunter can't get the messenger to take out the 10-pin, so a 9 count for him. And Fox picks up 6 on his first ball over on lane number 1. Christian with another split attempt. And he picks up 1 out of the 3, so another open, an 8 count that time. Hunter missed his spare attempt on lane number 4. Fox picked up his spare on lane number 1. Perrysburg picks up 6 on lane 4, leaving the bucket, the 2, 4, 5, and 8. Andrew gets 9, leaving a 7 pin. Slade up now, lane number 1. He comes in light, picks up 7, leaves the 1, 2, 4. Andrew now, spare attempt. And he's got it. Perrysburg picks up 8, leaves the 6, 10 on lane 2. Hunter with a strike on lane number 3. Perrysburg, lane number 3, picks up 8. Perrysburg misses their spare attempt on lane 4. And Perrysburg picking up 3 down on lane number 1. So we got Christian getting ready to come up on lane number 4. Perrysburg chops, picks up 1 out of 2 on lane number 3. Perrysburg gets 8 on their second ball in that frame, so an 8 count total. Christian gets 9, leaves a 10 pin on lane number 4. Nine count for Perrysburg, leaving a 7 pin on lane 3. Fox now, lane number 2. Goes Brooklyn, picks it up to strike. Perrysburg also with a strike on lane number 1. Christian missed his spare opportunity, so an open frame for him. I believe that's the 9th frame. Perrysburg with a spare over on lane number 3. I believe it was 3. Andrew now, lane 4. Comes in a little light, leaves the 210. Pickup of 8. Christian now, lane number 3. And he gets 9, leaves the 2 pin. And Fox Taylor picks up 7, leaving the 2, 4, 5 on lane 1. That's to start 10th frame for Fox. Andrew picks up 1 out of the 2, so an open frame for him in the 9th. Christian now, spare attempt in the 10th. Picks it up, he'll get one more. Fox chops, picks up 1 out of 3. He finishes with a 178. Perrysburg picks up 7 to start 10th frame on lane number 2. Slade now, lane number 1, his 10th frame. And he starts out with a strike. Christian picks up 8 more, so he'll finish with a 156. And Perrysburg left with a 7-10 split on lane number 4 to start his 10th frame. Slade now, second ball, 10th frame. And he gets 9. Andrew getting ready to start his 10th frame on lane number 3. And Andrew gets all 10 to drop for the strike. Strike for Perrysburg to start the 10th frame for their second bowler. And Perrysburg won't get any additional pins in the 10th frame for their fourth bowler. He finishes with a 101. Perrysburg's first bowler finished with a 102. All right, Andrew now, second ball, 10th frame. Slade McCorkle finished with 184. Andrew picks up 9, leaving a 7 pin. So the worst he can finish with is a 190. If he picks it up, it'll be a 191. 133 for Perrysburg's second bowler. Eight count for Perrysburg's fifth bowler on lane 4, leaving the 2-8. Andrew's spare attempt, and it comes out of the gutters, so that'll be 190 for him. I believe they're going to correct that. And Perrysburg's third bowler finishes with a 133. Perrysburg's fifth bowler spares. He'll get one more in the 10th. All right, we're going to switch over to the girls who are entering the 10th frame here. Perrysburg's first bowler finished with a 134. Perrysburg's fifth male bowler finished with a 168. Hunter starts out with an 8 count, or he had a strike on the first ball and an 8 count on his second. All right, Alexa Miller up to start her 10th frame. Perrysburg picks up 9 to start her 10th frame. That's Perrysburg's second bowler. And Alexa splits. Looks like the 7-10 down there. Macy finishing up her 9th frame on lane number 8, also looking at a split. Picks up 2 out of the 3. And Hunter Ehlers finished with a game of 210. So 216 for game 1 for Hunter, 210 in the second game. Andrew Gallagher, 177, 190. Garrett Hall, 162. Christian Horner, 156. Slade McCorkle, 190, 184. And Fox Taylor, 185, 178. All right, Lily got 9 on her first ball. Left the 10 pin on lane 7, her spare attempt. And she's got it. One more. Kendall up now, lane number 5. Picks up 9, leaves a 7 pin. Okay, 1848, 1486. That's what I've got for the boys. All right, Lexa Miller finished with a 181. Kendall gets the spare. She'll get one more. Lily Light gets another 9. So that's a 210 game for Lily. Nice game for Lily. $169. Not sure who was the second bowler. All right, 8 count for Sophia, leaving the 4-7. Perrysburg's second girl finished with a 61, third with a 101. 2 more for Perrysburg on lane 8. She finished with a 151. Sophie picks up her spare. She'll get one more in the 10th. Oh, it was Kendall that was bowling second. That's right. So Kendall with a 169. Strike for Perrysburg in the 10th frame. Sophia, last shot. And Sophie picks up 9 more for a 155 game. Macy starts out with a 9 count, leaving a 7 pin. Nine count for Perrysburg on lane number 8. All right, Perrysburg, last ball. And she picks it up. She finishes with a nice game, 201. And Macy missed her attempt, so 159 for Macy. So game 2, I've got Napoleon, 874, Perrysburg, 648. For a 2-game individual round of 17-18 to 1292. Napoleon leading by 426, 426 pins. Napoleon's boys, 918 in the second game to 637. That's 1848 to 1486. Napoleon leading by 362. Get this up on the scoreboard, and then we'll switch to our split screen mode for our Baker games. right, the boys start out with an 8 spare, 6 count. I believe that was Oliver Franz who threw that. Left with 1, 2, 8, and 10. Perrysburg boys with 2 opens in the first 2 frames. Picks up the spare there. All right, Oliver now, spare attempt. Gets that one a little too far left, picks up 1 more, so a 7 count in the second frame for Napoleon. Perrysburg with a Brooklyn strike. That in the 4th frame. Perrysburg girls up now. And they start out with a strike. And Christian lets that one get away from him. Starts that one too far right, ends up in the right channel. Perrysburg boys with a strike, so that's a double up for them. Perrysburg girls, the ball won't quite get to the head pin. Christian making the spare the hard way. Alexa Miller, strike for her to start the Baker game. 9 count for Perrysburg's boys on lane number 4, leaving a 10 pin. Perrysburg girls, second ball. And it looks like she picks up about 4 or 5, 4. And a strike for Kendall. So a pair of strikes for the Lady Cats to start out the second Baker game. 9 count for Garrett Hall on lane number 3. He looks like he's got the 4 pin left. Perrysburg boys pick up their spare. And Garrett missed his spare opportunity. Macy up now, lane number 8. And she splits, leaving the 8-10. She doesn't believe it. And a strike for Hunter. That in the 5th frame for Napoleon. Perrysburg gets 9 on lane number 4, leaving the 7 pin for the boys. And that's Jacob Dennett picking up 9, leaving what looks like the 3 pin. Perrysburg girls, spare attempt on the way on lane 7. And she picks up 2 out of 3. Macy picks up 1 out of 2. Perrysburg boys can't convert the 7 pin. Jacob, his spare attempt on lane 3. And he's got it. Perrysburg girls pick up 9, leaving a 7 pin on lane 7. Their boys pick up 8, leaving the 1-2 on lane 4. And Sophia goes Brooklyn and picks up 9, leaving a 7 pin. Oliver up now for the boys. And he picks up 6, leaving the bucket, the 2-4-5-8. Perrysburg girls missed their spare opportunity. Sophia now, spare opportunity for her, and won't quite get there. So an open for the Lady Cats. And Perrysburg boys leave the 3-10 split on lane number 4, pickup of 8. Perrysburg girls with a strike. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 9 count. I didn't see the 10 pin. Lily gets 9, leaves a 7 pin. Nice conversion there by the Perrysburg boys, picking up 310. All right, Oliver ready for his spare conversion on lane 3. And he's got it. Perrysburg girls pick up their spare on lane number 7. Nine count for Perrysburg boys to start the 10th frame, leaving a 7 pin. Lily picks up her spare in the 5th frame for the Lady Cats. Strike for Christian in the 8th frame for the boys. 9 for the Lady Jackets on lane number 7, leaving a 7 pin. And Perrysburg boys convert their spare. Alexa picks up 9 on lane 8, leaving a 10 pin. And a split for Garrett, leaving the 8-10 on lane number 3. Perrysburg misses their spare opportunity on lane number 7. So 9 count for them. That in the 6th frame. Alexa now spare attempt. And she gets it. That also in the 6th frame. Garrett now picks up 1 out of 2, so an open frame in the 9th, or I'm sorry, the 8th. Nope, that was the 9th. Open frame in the 9th for the boys. Kendall gets 9, leaving the 3 pin on lane number 8. Hunter with a strike in the 10th frame for the boys. Hunter picks up 8, leaving the 6-10 in lane number 3, second ball, 10th frame. Last ball, Baker game 1. Hunter picks up 1 out of 2. They finish with a 154. 151 for Perrysburg boys. Macy with a strike in the 8th frame for the Lady Cats. All right, Lady Jackets up. Spare attempt, lane 7, won't get any more. So they're sitting at 73 in the 8th. Sophie up on lane number 8. Pick up 8, leaves the 4-7. Perrysburg boys get things started in Baker game number 2, picking up 3. 6 count for the Lady Jackets on lane number 7, leaving the 1, 2, 4, and 10. Jacob Dennett starts things off for the boys with a strike. Sophie won't get any more on her spare attempt, so sitting at 149 in the 9th. Perrysburg girls Nice attempt, picks up 3 out of 4. So 9 count for them in the 9th. They're sitting at 82. Lily picks up 9 on her first ball in the 10th frame, leaving the 7 pin. Perrysburg boys pick up their spare on lane number 3. 9 count for Oliver on his first ball. He's got the spare attempt coming up. Nine count for Perrysburg girls on lane 7. Oliver converts his spare. Lily converts her spare. She'll get one more. 10th frame. Perrysburg picks up 8, leaving the 2-5. Perrysburg girls pick up their spare. They'll get one more in the 10th. Christian gets 6, ends up leaving the 2, 4, 8, and 10. And Lily on her last ball gets 7 more. So 166 for the girls in Baker game number 1. Perrysburg's max is 102 if she can strike out here. And she does get the strike, so 102 for the Lady Jackets. Christian now, spare attempt. And he picks up 3 out of 4. All right, so the ladies will switch lanes. The boys have already switched lanes. Strike for Perrysburg boys on lane number 3. Garrett with a strike for the boys in the 4th frame. Perrysburg boys get 9, leave a 10 pin. That was on lane number 3. Alexa Miller now up on lane number 7 for the Lady Cats. And she picks up 8, leaving the 6-10. Andrew Gallagher adds a strike for the boys. That's a double up for them. Perrysburg boys pick up the spare in frame number 4. Jacob up now, lane number 4, and a strike for him to make that 3 in a row for the Wildcat boys. Alexa picks up the spare. Avery Badenhop up now for the ladies on lane number 7. And Avery ends up splitting. Can't quite tell what that is from here. Oh, I'll have to reset it. Looked like the 5-7. Nine count for Oliver, leaving a 10 pin. Perrysburg boys get 6, leaves the bucket, the 2, 4, 5, and 8. Avery still waiting for the 5 pin to get set. Oliver, his spare attempt, picks up the 10 pin. Avery picks up 1 out of the 2, so 9 count for her. Perrysburg boys pick up the 2, 4, 5, and 8. That was down on lane number 3. Christian with a strike. in the 8th frame. Brenna gets 9 on lane number 7 for the Lady Cats, leaving the 7 pin. Perrysburg picks up 1 on her first ball. And a strike for Garrett. Ariana Kiesling with a strike there for the Lady Cats on lane number 7. Andrew with a strike in the 10th frame. So that's now 3 in a row for the Wildcat boys. Lily picks up 8 in the 5th frame, leaves a 6-10. Perrysburg comes in light. That was his second ball. Picks up 8. Perrysburg girls pick up a spare. Andrew picks up 9 on his second ball in the 10th frame. So a nice Baker game for the boys, either 222 or 223. Perrysburg comes in a light on the boys' side, leave the 1, 2, 4, and 10. Looks like Alexa up now for the Lady Cats on lane number 7. And Andrew picked up his spare for a 223 game for the second Baker game for the boys. Alexa picks up 9 on her first ball. Perrysburg picks up 3 out of 4 on the lane number 3. So Perrysburg girls got 7 on her first ball, no additional. And Alexa picks up her spare. 7 count for Perrysburg boys to start the 9th frame. Perrysburg girls, 5th frame, second Baker game, gets a 9, leaves a 7 pin. Avery Badenhop up now, lane number 7 for the Lady Cats. And gets 9. Perrysburg boys pick up their spare on lane number 3. Perrysburg girls, spare attempt, lane number 8. Picks it up. Perrysburg boys pick up 9, leave a 9 pin to start the 10th frame. Avery picks up her spare on lane number 7. Brenna with a strike in the 8th frame. Ariel will be up next for the Lady Cats. And a strike for Perrysburg boys to close out the second Baker game with a 164. So the Wildcats have extended their lead on the boys' side. I've got 22-25 to 18-01. Difference of 424 pins. Ari gets a strike on the girls' side there just a moment ago. All right, brings up Lily to close things out in this second Baker game for the girls. And she gets 8, leaving the 4-8. Perrysburg opens to start the 7th frame. And on lane number 8. And the boys start with a strike from Jacob. Perrysburg boys also with a strike. And Perrysburg girls pick up 7 on her second ball. So 7 for the frame. Lily now, spare attempt here. 9 count for the Perrysburg boys on lane number 3. And Lily converts her spare. She'll get 1 more. Nine count for Oliver. Looks like I can't tell. 9 pin maybe? Perrysburg boys, spare attempt, successful. And 7 count for Lily to close things out with a 177 game. Perrysburg picked up their spare in the 8th frame. Oliver, spare attempt. He's got it. Name of the game, spare, spare, spare. Eight count for Perrysburg boys, leaving the 1-2. Strike for the Lady Jackets in frame number 9. Christian Horner with a strike. That was on lane number 4. Perrysburg boys, spare attempt. Picks it up. Perrysburg girls start the 10th frame with 9, leaving a 4 pin. Garrett Hull with a strike, so 2 strikes in a row for the Wildcat boys. Perrysburg splits, leaving the 4-7-10 on lane number 3, pickup of 7. Another strike, this time coming from Fox Taylor. Lady Jackets pick up their spare. They'll get 1 more in the 10th. Jacob up now for Napoleon. That one went high. Ends up splitting on him. Leaves the 4-6-7-9. Nice attempt there by Perrysburg boys on lane number 3, picking up 2 out of the 3. And 9 count on Perrysburg's last ball in lane number 8, so they finish with a 124. So I've got Napoleon girls leading 20-61 to 15-18, a difference of 543 pins. See if we can get this updated here for you real quick. Napoleon girls start out with a strike in this 3rd Baker game. Hitting the wrong save button. There we go. Now that should be updated, I think. All right, at least 3 strikes in a row from the Lady Cats. I think that's 4 in a row, actually. Yeah, 4 in a row from the Lady Cats to get things started. Christian with 8 on lane number 4 for Napoleon. Strike for the Perrysburg boys on lane number 3. All right, Kendall Horner gets 8, leaves the 2-7. Christian splits, or chops, I should say. Picks up 1 out of 2, so they're sitting at 139 in the 8th frame of Baker game number 3. Kendall picks up 1 out of 2. Garrett gets a little unlucky there, picks up 7, leaves the 2-8-10. Much rather leave the 2-4-8-10. Perrysburg missed their 10 pin, or I'm sorry, there must have been 2 pins over there because it shows they picked up 1 out of 2. Okay. Lily with a strike there in frame number 6 for the Lady Cats. Garrett picks up 2 out of 3, so 148 in the 9th. Fox will be bowling the anchor leg here. Avery gets 9, leaves a 4 pin. Fox with a strike to start the 10th. A strike for the Perrysburg boys to start the 10th. Avery now, spare attempt. And picks up the spare. And a strike for Fox on the second ball. Perrysburg gets 6 on their second ball in the 10th frame. 9 count for Brenna, leaving a 10 pin in the 9th or the 8th frame. And 3 strikes in the 10th for Fox for a 178 game. Perrysburg picks up their spare. They'll finish out at 161. So I've got 2403 to 1962, a difference of 441 pins. 555 in the Baker games for Napoleon, 476 for Perrysburg. Individual games of 1848 and 1486. Boys average 184.85 for the night total. And Airy picks up 9, leaves a 10 pin. We'll get confirmation on the boys' scores here shortly. Airy picks up the spare in the 9th frame. Perrysburg girls still back in the 5th frame on this 3rd Baker game. And she gets 6, leaves the 3, 6, 7, and 10. Kendall starts out the 10th frame with a strike. Nice pickup there by Perrysburg for the spare in the 5th frame. Kendall now, second ball, 10th frame. And gets 9, wiggles the 7, but it doesn't go down. And the girls on pace for a really nice Baker game. Worst they can do is a 213 here. She picks up the spare, it'll be 214. And she picks up the spare. All right, so 1848 to 1486 individuals. Baker games 555, 476, 2403, 1962. Difference of 441 pins. So everything matches up. So nice Baker game there from the girls, 214. Just waiting on the Perrysburg girls to finish up here. All right, so Perrysburg got a total of 1 in the 6th frame. Next bowler up.
Wildcat bowlers and parents, just a heads up, we'll have a meeting behind lane 1 and 2.
Okay, a pickup of 6 to start the 7th frame. Spare attempt from Perrysburg, and she won't get any additional. All right, frame number 8. Starts off with 7. Looks like the 135 left. All right, so the victory tonight should extend Napoleon to 6-1 on the boys' side. And on the girls, it'll be 7-0. All right, 9th frame for the Perrysburg girls. Starts out with a strike. All right, next match is Napoleon away at Anthony Wayne, being held at Timbers Lane. That's on the 30th, on a Thursday, starting at 4 o'clock. And then we'll be back here at River City on the 3rd of February against Maumee. That'll be our senior night. And then the NLL Championship will be held on that following day on the 4th of February. I believe that starts at 10 o'clock if memory serves. We'll have 2 streams going for that, one for the boys, one for the girls. Perrysburg starts out the 10th frame with a strike. And then we'll finish up the season back here at home against Tenora on Friday, February the 7th, 4 o'clock start time. And then we'll be into tournament season, where the following week, the 13th and 14th, we'll have the 2 sectional tournaments here at River City Bowlaway. Boys on one day, girls on the next. And 3 strikes in the 10th for Perrysburg to finish at 121. So 1639 to 2275 is what I've got the unofficial totals as. So we'll get those up on the screen real quick. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Again, I do apologize for any of the internet issues that we've been having. We are working to get those solved. Hopefully we'll have those solved well before conference time. Actually, I'm hoping to have those solved before the next home match. But all right, everybody have a good night. And as always, go Wildcats.